Welcome to BelloHeart. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024, and today we're going to talk about Trump derangement syndrome. Back after this. All right, so what is Trump derangement syndrome? So, Trump derangement syndrome is a mental disorder that has taken over the country, and it is what is infecting many people's decision making when it comes to this election cycle. And I think we need to talk about it because um, for the last few months, I don't know if anybody whoever has watched me before, not that many people. We have 47 subscribers, and I've took almost a year off. So of course that's not going to continue building an audience, but I'd like to start one again. And for anybody who did watch me knows I started with spirituality. And spirituality is like is an awakening to the truth of the universe. Along with that, though, comes with the awakening to the falsehoods of our matrix that we live in as humans, not as the matrix that has been presented to us by the puppet masters. The government is fake, the media is fake, everything's fake, right? So part of that is led to part of that awakening leads to a place where you start to question information, like where your information is coming from. So that led to me turning off the mainstream media, and that's like CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. I learned how to meditate, and then I went on a truth journey for consciousness and spirituality. But along the way, I also have crossed the lines of politics and spirituality. So, what does that exactly mean? That means that there's something to be said for Trump exposing the truth about the mainstream media, and is ultimately what they are doing, the deep state and the what's it called, the government, and now the mainstream media is exposing themselves to trying to stop Trump at all costs. Now the question people should be asking them is, why do they want to try to stop Trump at all costs? Does anybody have a clue? Does anybody care? I mean, it's not just because he's a bad man. You think the government really cares about their people that much? I mean, they vaccinated us without any proof that it worked. They let people die all the time. Cancer could be cured. I mean, stop. They kill people all over with wars all over the world. Do you think they care about people? If you still think that our government cares about you, you're sorely mistaken. So you're just another person that pays taxes into the system, and that system launders money using politicians' policies overseas, and creating a constant stream of revenue. And guess who's the slaves in this whole thing? The American people working their balls off to pay the taxes that pays for all this stuff, right? In other countries. Why? So now, why did they try so hard to go against Trump, to stop him at all costs? Think about that. They used when he first became president in 2016, he was what? He was and I've never seen a president so abused and so disrespected by the media before. I mean, all of a sudden, Obama was like beloved, and then Trump came in, and all of a sudden he switched. Why? No one cares. No one thinks about it. Yeah, think about these things, people. So through that 2006, so while he was president, they brainwashed us to believe certain things about us, and the people who only watch mainstream media got those one-liners about Trump, right? So to prepare for this show, I did some investigating. Not investigating. I did a quick ChatGPT search about Trump derangement syndrome, right? So before we start, Trump derangement syndrome is a term that is used to describe what some perceive as irrational or extreme reactions to former U.S. President Donald Trump, his policies, or his behavior. The term suggests that certain individuals, particularly those opposed to Trump, may exhibit an intense and often emotional response to anything related to him, leading to a perceived inability to view Trump or his actions objectively. So basically, derangement, right? About Trump. Not why the name says it all. A couple of common mainstream media debunked former one-liners that they used to present to us as mainstream media listeners, right? Of course, the Russia collusion claims. It was debunked. The Mueller report, after extensive investigation, did not find sufficient evidence to charge any American, including Trump or his associates, with conspiring with Russia to interfere in the 2016 election. However, it did confirm Russian interference in the election. So, again, Russia collusion, BS. Trump's fine people hoax, who they still talk about right now on TV. Biden's still talking about it. It was debunked. The full transcript shows that Trump condemned the white supremacists and neo-Nazis, stating, "I am not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally." His fine people on both sides comment was in reference to people on both sides of the debate over the removal of Confederate status. Debunked. Drinking bleach comment, another one that the libs on Facebook throw in my face constantly. While Trump did make a wildly criticized remark about disinfectants during a briefing, the comment was more of an off-the-cuff remark rather than a direct recommendation. He later clarified that it was not meant to be taken literally. Another BS nonsense one, right? Trump overfeeding fish in Japan. Video evidence later showed that Trump followed Abe's lead, who also dumped his box of food into the pond. I don't know, that's just nonsense, right? Trump removing Martin Luther King Jr.'s bust from the Oval Office. The bust had not been removed. It was simply obscured in photos. The reporter later apologized for the mistake. More nonsense. Trump's tax cut only benefiting the wealthy. Lies. Debunking. While the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Cuts Act did prove significant benefits to the wealthy, and corporations also resulted in tax cuts for the majority of Americans. However, the long-term effect of discriminatory benefits remain subjects of debate. Whatever. Now, this is just ChatGPT, right? So, ChatGPT has debunked those 6 fallacies already. And more are going to come, right? The January 6th insurrection is nonsense. There's so many now. I forget about it. I can't even talk about the Trump assassination yet. I'll do a whole other issue on that. Today we're going to stay on Trump Derangement Syndrome. How it started, I just talked about, right? Through the media manipulation, making up stuff. And now there's half the country, maybe less now, hates Donald Trump just because. They don't even care why. They just hate him. They don't want to ask the questions about, like, what Joe Biden was showing dementia for 4 years plus, 3 years plus now at least, right? And Kamala Harris was obviously complicit. And if Joe Biden was not going to run for a second term, then why didn't he drop out before the primary so he can have the American people, if they truly cared about democracy, wouldn't they have the American people actually vote in the primary for the presidential nominee? Isn't that when, if they really cared about you people, the liberals, the Democrats, or even us, because we should be able to see our people, wouldn't they like let us vote for her? Vote for somebody who should replace Biden, like democratically? No, because they want a puppet. They want somebody they can control. Someone who's, and guess what? Kamala Harris is I'm sorry, people, she's a moron. Okay? It is what it is. So, question about TDS is why? Is how did they do it? Told you. Why they're doing it? Well, we know why they're doing it. They're doing it to win the election, right? But the deeper question is, how do we change it, right? So, how do we convince our liberal friends and family members or people who are on the fence of Trump that what they're being told is not correct, right? You could show them all the evidence you want. Most of them just get really defensive and start yelling and screaming and cursing at you. I mean, I fought with my brother I still fight with him on Facebook, and it's for everybody to see. It's just insane. They just repeat CNN. They just repeat the same facts over and over and over again, and they don't want to actually go do any research. It's obvious to anybody who's paying attention. They tried to kill Trump to stop him, and they're using your Trump derangement syndrome to not get him elected. And now they have Kamala Harris, who's acting like she's something special. She was the lowest. She's the most radical left senator, right? And she was the lowest approval rating for any of the primary candidates last time she ran for president, and she dropped out. And guess why they skipped the primary? Because she wouldn't have gotten one vote, and she still hasn't. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. What you guys should be thinking about is how they're exploiting the American people to rig the presidency so they could have another puppet in there. And they have to stop Trump at all costs because they can't control him. They only want people they can control, including you. All right, guys. Thank you. I don't want to go too long. It's almost 10 minutes. But Trump derangement syndrome is a serious problem. And we really need to educate people about it, because it's just like being brainwashed in a prison or overseas. If you were taken hostage by a hostile force, eventually, over time, you're going to break down. And it's just going to be easier to accept their beliefs and for your own safety, right? and your mind gives in. So it's the same thing. You've just been brainwashed over time, your whole lives actually, about with the media. But the system is corrupt. Once you admit that the American government is corrupt, you have to just say, if one thing is corrupt, then everything's corrupt. And then you just ask and then you got to start asking, what is corrupt, for how long, and by who? We need to change what's going on in America for our children, and this is the only way I know how to do it, is by speaking up and telling the truth. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Oh, subscribe, please. Thank you.